A man in a clinical trial was supposed to get the placebo. He was breathing regular room air inside a chamber pressurized to just 1.3 atmospheres, the lowest setting meant to be the sham, the fake treatment, except his brain injury started improving anyway. Both groups got better. The nothing treatment wasn't nothing. That accidental finding from a 2012 study led by Dr. Paul Harch at Louisiana State University cracked open a question researchers are still chasing. What if the mild, affordable version of hyperbaric oxygen therapy, the kind you can set up in your spare bedroom, actually does something meaningful? Here's what a home HBOT setup actually looks like. You've got a softshell chamber, basically an inflatable tube made from medical-grade ballistic nylon. It's about 7 feet long, 2 to 3 feet wide. You zip yourself inside. An electric compressor pumps filtered room air in until the chamber hits 1.3 atmospheres, equivalent to being about 10 feet underwater. Then you put on a mask connected to a separate oxygen concentrator that feeds you 90 to 95% pure oxygen. You lie there for 60 to 90 minutes, read a book, take a nap, that's it. When you're done, the chamber depressurizes over about 10 minutes, you unzip, you get on with your day. The science behind why this works comes down to pressure and Henry's law. At normal atmospheric pressure, your red blood cells carry almost all your oxygen. They're maxed out. Hemoglobin is already 97% saturated, so breathing more oxygen at sea level doesn't do much, but add pressure, even modest pressure, and something changes. Oxygen starts dissolving directly into your blood plasma. That's a completely different delivery route. Plasma goes everywhere blood goes, including damaged tissues where swollen or collapsed capillaries can't squeeze a red blood cell through. At 1.3 atmospheres with a concentrator mask, some researchers have measured tissue oxygenation increases of 50% or more, though exact numbers vary depending on the tissue and the individual. That's not trivial. But here's where you need to be honest with yourself about what you're buying. The clinical studies that produce the strongest published results, a 2020 Tel Aviv University trial led by Dr. Shai Efrati, found telomere lengthening of up to 38% and senescent cell reduction of up to 37%, with inflammation markers dropping significantly. Those use hardshell chambers running 2 to 3 atmospheres with 100% medical-grade oxygen. Brian Johnson has publicly reported doing 60 sessions at 2 atmospheres and watching his biological aging markers improve dramatically, including a reported 300% jump in VEGF levels. That's new blood vessel growth. But his chamber is a clinical-grade unit that costs north of $100,000. That is not the same machine as the $5,000 inflatable in your guest room. And his results are self-reported from a single individual, not a controlled trial. Does that mean the home version is useless? No, it means the home version is a different tool with a different intensity. The Harch TBI trial where the sham group improved, that was 1.3 atmospheres with room air. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research on Exercise Recovery found mild HBOT significantly improved lactate clearance. The researchers noted that 1.3 atmospheres imposed less biological stress while remaining, in their words, sufficiently effective. People also report better sleep, less inflammation, faster recovery from workouts, and clearer thinking. Those are self-reports, not controlled trials. That volume of consistent anecdotal benefit is hard to dismiss entirely, but it's not a substitute for controlled evidence either. 3 companies make FDA-cleared soft chambers in the United States: OxyHealth, Summit to C, and Newton Hyperbarics. Prices range from about $4,500 for an entry-level Newton to $23,000 for a premium OxyHealth Vidaris that fits 2 people. You'll also need an oxygen concentrator, which runs another $1,000 to $3,000. Compare that to clinical sessions averaging $200 to $400 each. If you're doing 40 sessions, a standard loading protocol, you're looking at $8,000 to $16,000 at a clinic. A home chamber pays for itself fast. Now, safety. This matters. Fire is the #1 documented risk in 95 years of hyperbaric medicine. Oxygen-enriched environments lower ignition temperatures. You cannot bring electronics, lighters, or petroleum-based skin products into that chamber. At least 1 person has died from asphyxiation in an unattended home session. The rule is simple and non-negotiable. Someone else must be nearby when you're inside. Canada has banned softshell chambers entirely. The FDA recommends these devices be used under physician supervision. Whether or not you follow that recommendation, understanding the risks is essential before you make your decision. The typical home protocol is 60 to 90 minutes per session, 3 to 5 times a week, for an initial run of 40 sessions. After that, most people drop to 2 or 3 sessions a week for maintenance. It's a real-time commitment. You're spending 5 to 7 hours a week inside a pressurized tube. The people who get the most out of it treat it like a non-negotiable part of their routine, same as exercise. Is home HBOT the same as what you get at a wound care center running 2.4 atmospheres of pure oxygen? No, not even close, but is 1.3 atmospheres with concentrated oxygen doing nothing. The sham group that accidentally showed improvement would suggest otherwise. The question isn't whether mild HBOT works. It's whether the version you can afford and access consistently is worth more than the version you can't. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Talk to your healthcare provider before starting any new health protocol, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy.